I'm David Reed, and this is The Engine Room. Hello and welcome back to The Engine Room. Today we have a very special guest, Gavin MacMillan. Good morning, Gavin.
Good to be here. Thanks, David.
Yeah, good to have you. So, you're the fiberglass man now.
Apparently, yeah.
We're going to go way back to the beginning. And where did your life begin? Where were you born?
So I was born in Glasgow, in Scotland.
Glasgow.
Yes.
That's a small town.
Oh, not really that small.
Is that half of Scotland? Glasgow?
Seems probably.
I think it is technically. Like maybe Greater Glasgow, but so actually in Glasgow, probably not.
No, I was born in Bearsden, just outside Glasgow.
Bearsden, that's a place I actually know.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a small world after all, right?
It is Scotland. We're gonna know people,
Absolutely.
It's part of Scotland, but yeah. So you grew up in Glasgow. How was childhood life? Were you?
It was good. Yeah, I mean, not. It's good as any childhood, as I would say. It's hard to really quantify that, but grew up. Happy family and really.
Parents? What did your dad do? What did your mom do?
Yeah, so my father he owns a sort of coach company. So
a coach company?
Yeah.
Like horses and carriages?
Yeah, exactly right. Except with wheels, yeah.
Coaches, buses.
Buses, yeah. And so I spent a lot of my childhood sort of under vehicles. So
really?
Yeah.
So he would just pull you in because. It was a small. Like,
it was a small sort of family business back then, and it's kind of grown a lot over the years.
MacMillan buses.
Yes, well, kind of. I'll defer on the name, but
oh yeah, probably wise.
So I mean, it's grown over the years, but yeah, I mean, it was just when I was in my even early teens, it was sort of late evenings under vehicles and
really, that's really something.
So
buses, you could get under a bus and probably you'd know what to do.
Yeah, so
that's wild. I have no clue of the makeup of a bus and how it runs.
So sort of strong sort of mechanical aptitude from an early age. So a lot of stuff came pretty easily, and then I found myself in the Merchant Navy as an engineer at sea.
Because was a connection from buses? You're like, okay.
Well, it was just
travel. Yeah,
travel. See the world. I like the aspect of getting into everything, fixing everything from HVAC system to generators to main engines, gearboxes. I mean, whatever it may be. Electronics.
Very similar, right? To what you were
absolutely.
doing.
Yeah. And from there, I sort of found myself, floating next to a rig one day.
Oh, really?
And
you're like, what's that?
Next thing, I was on the rig.
Oh, really? Because you wanted to see it. Was it really? You were like, can we get on this thing?
No.
Or were you
actually
servicing it?
We were basically on an anchor handle at the time, doing some rig moves, and so. I started sort of, looking into it a little bit, and so I got myself a job.
Your curiosity would get going, yeah.
With Stena on the sort of.
What was the rig?
Noble Byron Welliver.
Oh, okay, it's rare that I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I wonder, that was a previous name.
Could be, I'm not sure.
Got changed.
Long time ago.
Okay, yeah.
And so I was off there for a little while, and then sort of migrated onto the service side with Weatherford.
Mm. Wait, wait. So you moved into start working for Stena, you said?
Yeah.
And then you were on the...
No, not Stena, sorry, Noble.
Noble, okay.
Yeah,
I was
Noble Byron Welliver.
Stena? Yeah. So it was Noble. So you started with Noble. Were you working for them?
Yes, for a brief period. And so I was off there as...
What was the job?
It's like a night engineer.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was responsible
it's night everything when you start.
Always. They're not going to give you the sociable hours, right? So
it's part of the see if you'll survive.
Yeah. So no, but that was fun as well. I remember thinking back to that. It's, you're doing like preventative maintenance on drawworks and things like that, and you've a lot of these all the terminology is quite new. So it's
fascinating. When I got on, I couldn't stop asking questions because everyone's like, "That's not what we do."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Yeah, but what is it? How does it work?" I was really nosy.
No, it was a good time in life. I really enjoyed it, honestly, And then sort of started taking a look at the sort of service aspect of flying around the world and going from well to well, and so migrated over to Weatherford, and that's a bit of a journey as well, where they brought me on as part of a training program where they wanted to have people servicing Africa, and they wanted people to travel there and spend sort of a prolonged period of time. So
often a Scottish person's job.
Yeah.
There's something about Scots, and you want to go to Africa, yeah?
Yeah, it was pretty much. And I think it was...
And everyone's like, you sure?
Yeah. It was sort of I think the merchant navy background and being comfortable with sort of prolonged periods away from home.
Yeah.
And so...
Are you married at this point?
No, I was single.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
so that helps.
Yeah.
You need that kind of freedom for all that, yeah.
So then I found myself in Christmas and New Year covering some work on the east coast of Canada, and the region manager at the time asked me would I stay, and I said yeah, of course. So
what, are we talking St. John's?
That was St. John's. I spent about 9 months in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Were you surprised that they have an Irish accent?
Yes.
That blew my mind.
It was the strangest thing because I landed there and it was an evening flight, and it was the bizarrest thing as well, and because it was a small boutique hotel, and the hotel owner was like, "Oh, do you want to go, grab some dinner and drinks across the road?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
That's what they're like. It's so funny. I thought I had an Irish cab driver when I got in. I just didn't. No one had warned me that they just have an Irish accent.
No, it's strange, especially when they start drinking as well, which adds to the confusion. But no, that was good. So
you were based in St. John for a while, eh?
Yeah, I was there for about 9 months.
Wow.
And,
that's an experience.
Yeah. So then I migrated over to Alberta.
Oh, okay, as you do once you're in Canada. Yeah.
So I spent about a little over 2.5 years in Alberta, and then migrated over to Germany.
And this was all Weatherford?
This was Weatherford, yeah.
Okay, so they're just placing you wherever. When you said Germany, that was my Weatherford cue. Like, this is still Weatherford.
Yeah. No,
because
it was Weatherford.
So
I was basically region manager for Central and Continental Europe for completions and.
So was your journey all completions, or had they doing other things, or were you?
It was mainly all cementation products and completions initially, and. So
and Alberta was how long?
It was 2.5 years.
Okay.
So that was actually really good.
People love Alberta. I tried to get a Texan to come back once, and he was really angry.
It's a good place to live. I really enjoyed it, and I liked the aspect as well because, from a North Sea, coming from the North Sea, you'd do maybe 1 or 2 jobs a month kind of thing, right? And maybe a little more, but. Alberta, it was like you'd be covering 2 rigs on the same day, right?
Yeah.
So what you're exposed to and everything else. It's a good learning environment.
Good people. They're innovative people, which I
absolutely.
think is. I find Norway that way too. They're just always. Everyone's got. Hey, why are you doing it that way? It's like it's none of your business. Oh, they're just interested. What about this? Have you thought about that?
I mean, it's the guys in the shop would be piecing tools together to come up with a solution for some problem, right?
Yeah.
And they're pretty innovative. I really enjoyed it.
That's good. So you went there to Germany. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So Germany, moved over to Germany.
You were based in Germany for Europe to cover Europe.
It was in Hanover.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I was in Hanover,
that's not bad.
Lived there for about 2 years, and was looking after sort of Central Europe, some continental Europe as well. For basically the same products, and with quite a good business there that we grew. Really enjoyed it. Met a lot of.
Are you a
great
German
people.
speaker?
It was a long time ago.
Okay. I was just thinking of that. I mean, it can be a language challenge sometimes. They're generally speak English.
No,
well.
I mean it was fine. I mean you're covering a lot of
But you're living there. That's what I was thinking. Is
the living aspect. I mean, you always pick up
some.
You pick up enough to
survival.
survive, right?
Yeah.
And,
but not to be proud of.
Yeah.
That's good.
Then the opportunity came to move to Russia, and kind of jumped on that. That was pretty
wildly different.
Yeah, that was. But that was a really, really enjoyed my time in Russia, and
where you went Hanover to what? Were
Moscow.
You Moscow? Okay.
Yeah, always been in Moscow. So
did you know much about Russia, or was
at the time nothing at all, nothing
Mm.
at all, and so I ended up spending 11 years there.
11, that's a long. Did you read any Mikhail Bulgakov? No? Okay. Just hoping that there was some connection, but that's all right.
No.
He's just someone I read a lot of, but I was surprised there was a bunch of reference there. It's a very common high school book, but...
Okay. No,
anyway, you didn't do any of that. Yeah, you should actually. He's a crazy writer. But he was one of Stalin's writers and was writing against Stalin, but in such a way that Stalin never caught it. So he did all these books that were fascinating.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting.
It is interesting. You might like him.
Yeah.
But so you were right into Moscow and culture difference like crazy. Yeah, how about that? Well, first were you like, what have I done, or were you just like, this is fascinating?
No, I mean, I think I've always been one to sort of take a challenge and a sort of an opportunity head on, and I kind of like the aspect of it. I like the growth opportunity it presented because
massive. Like, you were covering all of Russia.
Yeah, all Russia CIS. So we had a lot going on in Sakhalin and
that's what I'm thinking.
Azerbaijan and Baku.
It can be a lot of time zones.
And some stuff in Kazakhstan as well. So there was a lot of opportunity, a lot of travel as well. And, a lot of.
Not everyone understands that. I mean, when you go there, you understand it. But
yeah, I mean, it's 4.5 hours north to south, and 8 hours across. So it's a big continent for sure, or a big country. So yeah, I mean, that was a great business, and I think I was with Weather for about 3 years, and then I started looking for other opportunities, and the timing was odd because one of my prior bosses from Canada called me up and said, hey, I'm looking for a guy in Russia, and I was like, okay, here's some names. He's like, no, I'm looking for
you didn't hear me. The guy might be
it was legitimately
is
one
the
of those
guy you you're like, oh
yeah. So I ended up he was looking to start a completions business, which was he was working for Trican at the time, so they were looking to start something up in Russia. And
is that how you came in, through Trican?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I never really having started anything from zero, and I was picking up sort of growing or mature businesses. So I thought this was a new opportunity that I really wanted to jump on. Yeah. And it was hard.
Yeah.
Basically you're going out to customers and suit in one side of this case and hard hats and coveralls because you're doing a lot of jobs yourself.
And tons of cultural learning. I mean, how talking to people, doing business is different.
For sure.
So
no, it's
you were 3 years in. Were you feeling like I'm pretty comfortable now with how it works, or were you still like?
No. I think at the 3 year point, the when you start thinking about completions and liner hangers and stuff like that, and all the key players and Rosneft, Gazprom Neft, and everything else. So it's as big as a country is. It's quite a tight community as well. So you learn how to navigate some of that relatively quickly. So it was good. Spent 3 years. It was kind of an odd time. So Trican decided, hey, we're going to sell our frac business in Russia. So just we're pushing you off to the side as sort of standalone. And so that's when kind of NOV sort of stepped in and acquired us. And I remember Kirk at the time coming in and saying, hey, what do you need to double this, right? So, okay. Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so what was the answer to what you needed to double it, and did you double it?
Yeah, we did.
So what did you need?
Just a little time and investment, honestly.
Yeah, let me go after it.
Yeah,
knowing you're interested is enough. Did you do? Where were you manufacturing?
Everything was actually manufactured in Canada and being imported. So when NOV came on, we actually leaned on Kostroma heavily.
Yeah.
And so they ended up doing a lot of manufacturing for us in country, which was bought us a lot of credit as well. So it was obviously good for NOV to utilize Kostroma. I
remember it was picking up because the rig business wasn't doing so well. Yeah, so that was the good news, the bad news, and then the good news. But there are people who want this space and can use it.
Yeah, we were a big customer for downhole back then.
Yeah.
So
I bet.
That was good.
That's so good. So that would have helped, I assume. Yeah, that ability to manufacture locally.
No, absolutely. No, a great. It's a great team. So I mean, it's it was. Great team. He was still a great team over there, and I think they continue to have a good business, which they're running as well. So it's good.
So was your exit when people had to exit, or were you exiting before we got to get out of Russia time?
I mean, the timing was odd because I'd literally just finished my MBA. It was sort of post sort of COVID. Just all the restrictions were starting to lift, and Kirk came along and said, hey, would you be interested in interviewing for the Excel Systems president's job? And I was like,
okay.
Actually, yeah, I would. And so kind of, went through that process. And
11 years, was that where you were 11 years in Russia?
Yes.
Yeah, so that would have been, do I want to leave? Like, were you?
No.
Were you definitely like opportunities out of here? So
there was always in my mind it was sort of temporary, and I was kind of keen to leave as well to feel a little bit more settled somewhere else and call somewhere home.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get married in Russia?
I did.
Look at that. Your wife's from there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. So that worked out. Just a little detail.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Yeah. So then she was moving into the States, right? You came to the States, right?
Yeah. So we both moved to the States. What's that?
How was that for her? Was she okay with that?
No, it was fine.
Yeah. No problem.
No issues at all. I mean, it was, getting dealing with the sort of bureaucracy of moving in with all the restrictions on travel and everything else, and Europe being on lockdown, and that was probably the main complexity. But I think other than that, it was a pretty straightforward process.
So you moved from completions business to threads and connections on large tubulars.
I think as Kirk said to me, he's like, "Hey, it screws together, you'll figure it out."
I'm sure that isn't the way they talk about it inside of Excel systems.
No,
that is
not at all.
That is not the language of the product. Yeah. But that's interesting. Did you move to Beaumont or did you move into Houston?
No, Excel Systems has an office up in had an office up in Cypress Station, so I kind of moved into there. So, we moved into the Woodlands, and it was relatively close proximity to Cypress Station, so we stayed there. So then they had manufacturing in Batam and Indonesia, and Beaumont. So spent a lot of time sort of commuting between those two locations.
Yeah. So how long were you there?
3 years.
Okay. Yeah. And then they whisked you off to something else. Was that where you are now? Was that straight from there to
fiberglass? Straight from there to fiberglass from Excel.
So how did that conversation go?
No,
just do you want to do it, or was it more we'd like you to do this? How was that?
A little bit of both, I would say. I think I had some interest in a fresh challenge, and I think going from completions to Excel gave me the confidence that hey, I've got
I can do this thing.
The understanding of it's not so much yourself, it's the team you're with, right? And leaning on the team for support. So I think that gave me the confidence that this would be a good challenge, and I've always had an endless amount of respect for Hossein and the sort of business he built as well.
What a joy to work with Hossein. That probably was a fun transition, just because of who he is,
Yeah. It was kind of weird,
Yeah, because it's been his life.
It was, I think he got an email at one point saying, "Hey, good luck, thanks very much." I'm like, "Hossein," I was like, "You're still here for a little while."
Hossein.
Yeah, no, Hossein was great, and the stories and perspectives. I think, I would have liked to work with him for a little longer before he sort of transitioned out. But
is he basically like, "I'm out, thanks"?
No, we had.
If you need him,
I think about
he's
a month
available.
Overlap kind of thing. But Hossein's always there if you need him kind of thing. For
he cares about the business.
Absolutely,
so.
This is his baby for sure.
Yeah, that's wild. So how's that been? The whole learning fiberglass and very different to everything else you did.
It's been fantastic. I mean, it's really enjoyed stepping out of the metallic world, I would say, and. Fiberglass is a particularly diverse business, and the different market segments that it services.
You're not going to be bored with fiberglass.
No, I mean it's one day we're in sort of meeting with HEB, and I'm saying to sales like, I shop at HEB. We can't follow with these guys.
Or Bucky's, more importantly.
Yeah, Bucky's, and then Samsung the next day, and then maybe Exxon the next day. So it's
a wild range.
It really is.
Or British Rail. I don't know if you ever get to meet them, but that's one where the Plymouth team, I'm always amazed by what they do.
Well, actually, there was a discussion the other day about bridges for Network Rail in the UK. Yeah. I
mean, they've done some, so it's a fascinating thing that they do. But they have a lot of range of they're just like, we'll do anything,
No, they really do. I mean, from the structure side, I think some of the stuff that Pipex does is incredible, and the challenges they're able to sort of step up and solve as well is just.
And your multi-tanks, the wide range of tanks. There's a lot. It's just an interesting business. It was tubular, and then in the last 5, 6, 7 years, been adding all sorts of things into the mix.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. I mean, as you see certain segments sort of slow down, maybe oil and gas a little bit at the moment, as you might have noticed. You see, for example, our UL business, our underground fuel storage business, picking up in activity. You know, gas prices are low. Gas stations are, you know, really, you know, stepping up the activity on gas tank replacements for existing facilities, and you know, also basically C-stores, you know, continuing to grow and demand. So, you know, we've got, I mean, we're booked out through the end of the year and beyond on our UL business. So, I mean, it's particularly interesting. And then, you know, we're encouraged as well with a lot of the chemical industrial stuff. You know, a lot of our facilities are based in the US, and as you know, there's a big drive for the moment for US manufacture, US content, and everything else, which is, you know, going to be driving a lot of our demand for the sort of coming years as well, that we're pretty excited about.
Yeah, a lot of different facilities across the US. Not everyone knows that, but a lot of different facilities. So
yeah, we have 25 facilities globally. Yeah. So.
And a lot in here, a lot in the U.S., which is helpful for business, right?
Yeah.
So there's a few of the acquisitions lately gave us more footprint, but.
Yeah, so I mean, it's large facilities. You know, from a quantity of facilities perspective, came from the sort of LFM acquisition recently. So a lot of that was brought in to support, you know, some of the ducting demand and above ground tanks. So we did some semiconductor facility for Samsung at Taylor.
Yeah. There's some interest. There's been a few lately where you're like, really?
Yeah. So
really,
you know, the other one we're pushing quite heavily at the moment is data centers. So we've been supplying a lot of tanks to data centers
for cooling.
Well,
or what is
basically fuel storage and for water as well.
Okay.
So you know,
why particularly us, or is it all non-metallics? I know you do metallics as well, but.
It's all non-metallics,
Yeah.
you know, we're supplying. But it really is, I think, you know, for a lot of data center stuff, it's whoever can supply the fastest, frankly.
It's all about availability right now. And are they leaning on U.S. manufacture? Or is that tariffs making that happen more?
I mean, just from a tank's perspective, size.
And travel and distance.
Transport and everything else. So it's you know, they're always leaning on U.S. manufacture for that perspective. But I mean, from a data center's perspective, it's, you know, you look at you know, what they're doing is, you know, they're driving sort of rack density from a power demand perspective. You know, so they're moving to sort of on-chip cooling, which is driving more water consumption and more heat generation. So there's a lot more, you know, water being consumed in the process. So they're, you know, storing more water on location. Then from a power perspective, you know, they're running larger generators, so they need more fuel on site and everything else.
It's kind of a gold rush right now.
It really is.
People don't, and if you're not near it, you don't. I mean, in theory, everyone talks about it, but it is going crazy right now.
Yeah.
So it's a wild build out.
So there's a lot of work to get sort of built into the sort of, you know, the planning phase of a lot of that stuff, and you know, making yourself known on your capabilities. So there's, you know,
that must be a challenge because you're everywhere, you know. So there's new markets that just don't know you. I would imagine is your challenge is how do you get seen? I see the marketing stuff picking up, which, you know, I know those guys.
You do?
I like seeing it. I mean, I've always been a bit of a fiberglass
it's
fan.
good.
People are like, why do you focus on fiberglass so much? I just find it interesting. It's just such an interesting potential growth area.
Yeah. No, I think, you know, the diversity of what we can manufacture and, you know, where you can supply pipes, tanks, and structures to, right? Is, you know, really you can pivot to, you know, like data centers, semiconductors, you know, lithium extraction, you know, whatever it is, you can, you know, like.
Yeah, there isn't a business where you couldn't say, hey, have you thought about using
desalination plants, pulp and paper, you know, water purification facilities. I mean, you name it. We're
years and years of steel product that doesn't last as long, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, or weighs more, or however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I mean, the a big part of our business kind of remains in oil and gas as well. You know, we're doing a lot with, you know, FPSOs and
that will continue to grow. I mean, in the future years,
Yeah, no, we were just having a discussion about that yesterday. Big pickup in sort of Q4 this year with you know, a lot of projects moving forward, and so that's encouraging. And you know, Middle Eastern facility as well continues to be.
Sounds like a lot of growth ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just some good opportunities.
Call up Hussein and say, hey, just letting you know, it got much busier when I got involved.
Yeah, well,
he would never say that.
We built on some solid foundations.
Exactly, it was. Yeah. It was years of vision. So I'm sure he loves hearing the stories because he always has believed beyond anyone. I think Clay and him both were the big believers in fiberglass and always had big dreams for size and where it could go. And I think it's true.
Yeah.
I think you're starting to reap the benefits of all of that. Yeah.
No, for sure. I think, if you look at our demand facility for fiberglass as well, I mean, that's an incredible facility, and there was a lot of planning went into that, and I think everything was done at the right time, where we just kind of hit the ground running, and it's been busy just constantly since it opened. So it's been an incredible
funny
success.
Conversation yesterday with Aramco Ventures, and they were like, I don't know if you've thought of this, but we make hydrocarbons, and that goes into fiberglass. They were telling us this story. We're thinking even light poles. I was like, well, yeah, that's us. Like, we're doing that for you. And he was like, oh, okay, because it's a story that's going around. Like, they're getting really into this. Let's keep growing the fiberglass business.
Yeah, the non-metallics group in Aramco, I mean, they're pushing hard constantly. So we're
there for them.
Yeah, no, we're manufacturing poles for them as well, light poles.
I know,
utility poles.
That's why I laughed when he was telling me like it was some other person's story. This happens to me a lot. People tell me stories, and I'm like, that's us.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And you're like, well, it is.
No, it's
a complicated system where they just know it's happening and they know it's their story. So that's good. That's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. I mean, even moving into sort of fiberglass at the very beginning, I knew roughly what they do and everything else, but you never really appreciate the scope of everything they touch.
But I took a bunch of people through a rig the other day, and I just stopped and I said, "Everyone, look up," and they're all like, "What?" It's a big black pipe, and I'm like, somewhere on this pipe we're going to see the letters FGS. Oh, really? Yeah. This rig is all NOV, but also inside these pipes. These are all made by us. They're all,
Oh, is this TK liner?
No, Bondstrand stuff.
Okay.
I mean, you see it on vessels all the time.
Yeah.
But if you pay attention, you'll catch the FGS every now and again. But it's not clearly NOV. It's funny because when they were selling all those packages, fiberglass were like on the side going, yeah, we're fiberglass systems. They were not associating much and just still getting a lot of business.
Yeah.
But the vessels often have their piping in, and very common to see Bondstrand on vessels. But, and if you don't know what you're looking for, you just don't catch it,
Yeah. I mean, the other part is the structures part. So, I mean, if you think about, your railings, your grading, and
so much we can do.
Yeah.
And it is, I think I've tried to pull it into future design where people are like, let's take weight out of this thing. What is that weight worth?
And that's a big consideration for a lot of the stuff we're doing.
Vessels, you see it. I mean, massive reduction in weight. So it's a big deal.
And then the marine aspect as well. A lot of the seawater cooling systems and ballast systems as well, and
things they just accept that rot. And they're steel, so it's a great opportunity. Yeah.
It's a fantastic business. I mean, really excited and honored to be part of the team. And,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
So what on your list? We're closing, so good news. It's almost over. Not whether you cared or not. I know, right? Thanks. Advice to people just in their careers. You've had a good career. What do you think? What's the secret to doing well? Do you know? Have you thought about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think embrace opportunity, and it's was a Churchill quote is that every crisis brings opportunity, right? And I really believe that's the case. I mean, particularly in fiberglass, and what Hossein has done as well is that he's went through a couple of downturns. Been really focused on being an oil and gas business, and he's like, how can we stabilize this and he found a way. So, for me, I think, my success came from, embracing challenges and, the flexibility to move around a little bit as well. And
not being afraid of different.
Yeah. And experience different cultures and different, different people.
It does help.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think that it's just good for you to understand culture and be curious. I think you get more curious the more you go into different places, and I think that's good. It's a good point, and for leading teams. And
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's diversity is something that we live with, and it's a great thing, and being able to understand that better, manage it better, I think is important.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, appreciate and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.